And what is up, all your YouTube viewers and YouTube fans? It is me and yours truly, Brandon Murphy, here on YouTube. But you folks also may know me from my Twitch channels, Brandon the Yellow Koopa and Brandon the Mandalore 36. Remember them all, folks, so you have to at some point, some which, some way, somewhat, and of course some win. And today, folks, is once again, and for the I don't know how many years it's been since we had Mario Day, but that's what's happening today, folks. It is once again that time that we put on the red hat, we put on some overalls, and we say from Charles Martinet one-liner, and that is, let's go! As it is, folks, Mario Monday. And boy, folks, don't I have something to share with you all, folks, today. But before I share this with you folks today, I just want to start by discussing, reviewing, and reacting to both Cinemassacre and Channel Awesome, aka folks, Doug Walker, who is, of course, Nostalgic Critic. As these guys were like doing a Super Mario Brothers movie reaction and review. So I thought I'd do it today because it's part of what they did. So I'm going to take this as a token and metaphor in my own way of how Super Mario Bros. Movie looked like and what could have gone better. And yeah, I guess with that being said, once again, let's put on our Mario hats or Luigi or whatever you folks are a fan of. Put on our overalls or whatever you folks like to wear to cosplay for this here Mario Monday. And as Charles Martinet says once again, because we're going to miss that guy since he's now an ambassador, let's go! So, where to begin? We know the plot story already that Bowser wants this star power to destroy. Well, okay, he doesn't want to destroy Mushroom Kingdom, but he wants to rule over Mushroom Kingdom and every other places that Mario probably has been in. Because I've seen so many cameos that got caught in in Bowser's dungeon. For instance, we had these Lumas from Super Mario Galaxy, his own henchmen, and so on and so forth. Even folks in the beginning of the movie, and not to spoil much, but for those who haven't seen it, go ahead and do so now. But he, also, if you folks don't like spoilers, then you folks know the drill. Just mute this video if you don't like spoilers. But anyway, so we come to the Penguin King and Bowser. Bowser's like, I don't you to know. And now, if you'd excuse me, I'm gonna destroy your kingdom so I can have that star power. And after all that, we get to, and not to get copyright or anything, but we get to one of those old school 1990, maybe 2000 type music, the Super Mario Bros. Theme song, or Super Mario Brothers Super Show theme song, where Mario and Luigi, voiced and played by Chris Pratt and Charlie Day, which also huge credit to Jack Black, by the way, for also voicing Bowser. But yeah, man, so there were folks all jamming out, getting pumped up and ready to go. And then folks all of a sudden hear a phone call saying, we need you plumbers to fix something. And normally, and hear me out, I'm going to say this a bunch of times, but normally I would not that I don't like or I even hate the Super Mario Bros. Because I still love those guys. I've been playing their games ever since I was born in the 1988, and Nintendo probably wasn't released after 10, maybe 5 years later. But anyway, so they get a phone call saying that this here 4, maybe 5-story building needed some plumbing, and so they're like, okay, let's go. So they did. So they went and fixed it, but not in the way that they expect. So after their failure and game over, would you like to continue? The Mario Bros went back home feeling disappointed that they failed, and then they hear another announcement saying that there's been a leak, not in the buildings, not in anyone's houses, but somewhere below everyone's house. So Mario and Luigi investigates, just like Detective Pikachu kind of investigation, and that's when they both got warped. And that's where Mario on one side bumped into Toad and Princess Peach, played by Keegan Michael Keith and Anya Taylor-Johnson, which we all folks know her from New Mutants, Glass, Split, Playboy Mobile, or whatever they call that little toy kids game, or whatever, and so on and so on. So she plays Peach, and the first thing she sees is, and for the first time, she says, "Oh boy, a human being! I've never met a human being for the first time." And Mario's like, yeah, well, that's because we're from up there, and this, whatever this is, I don't know what it is. I do not care what it is. I just want my brother back. Simple as that. And so, what Princess Peach suggested was if Mario wanted his brother back, which, by the way, going to Luigi now, he goes to some sort of spooky haunted area, but that which doesn't include Boo's or even the King Boo himself. Thank goodness for that, but they should have added King Boo and all these other ghosts and goblins or ghouls in Super Mario Bros. Movie, because Boo's could also be part of the henchmen of Bowser. So they he goes into some sort of weird building run by the Shy Guys and many other people, and later on we see Bowser and Kamek making their announcements saying, "Tonight, boys, I shall make Princess fall in love with me. And if she doesn't, then we shall destroy Mushroom Kingdom, even if I want to rule it." So, yeah, that kind of happened. But after Luigi told Bowser where Mario is, we come to across like Mario. We come to Mario. Excuse me. Hold on a second. Sorry, had to burp. But anyway, so going back to Mario and Princess Peach after their training, and their little backstory, they come to the kingdom full of, as they say in the classics 1993 Super Mario Bros. Movie with Bob Hopkins and John Leguizamo, or and so on and so forth. Mario and Princess Peach and Toad, they bump into the kingdom full of monkeys. I've always wanted one of them. Look, it's really a monkey. But now, Mario Brothers, I'm going to turn you into a monkey. And so, yeah, that happened, and they bumped into Donkey Kong, played by Seth Rogen, in which, by the way, he did such a good job, also playing so many characters, like the only character I know Seth Rogen played was he did Pumbaa from the Lion King remake, and from what I was told, in behind the scenes of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, he said that he also did Bebop or Rocksteady's voice, and he did, folks, by the way, such a great job. But anyway, so we get into a battle station between Mario and Donkey Kong, and surely enough, after Mario defeated Donkey Kong is like, no, Mario's like saying in his four letter words, you had enough yet? And Donkey Kong is like, not even close, because that's exactly what Donkey Kong said to Mario, and Mario said the same thing before Mario got beaten up. But when he saw the star power, he got turned into a pussycat doll, which we all know where he got that Cat Mario suit from. But anyway, so going on, after that, the whole defeat and glorious victory Mario did won, and so on and so forth, it was time to and not to get copyrighted, but it was time for both kingdoms, Mushroom Kingdom and the King of Monkeys Kingdom, to Autobots roll out, as everyone chose a vehicle of choice, which I remember, folks, when I played Super Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo and many other Mario Kart games. Let's say, for example, if you play as Toad, they give you a standard cart, right? But in the newest and latest edition of Mario Kart 8, and of course Mario Kart Tour as well, now you have this option to give Toad any kind of vehicle you want. It could be a MX, which is short for motocross. It could be a ATX, which is an automatic cross, or it could be just a standard Mario Kart. And that's when the writers and the directors were like thinking, you know what, no, we want to give Toad such a badass vehicle that everyone's going to be jealous of him at. And that is exactly, folks, what they did in this movie. The Super Mario Bros. 2023, of course, is what I'm talking about, folks. And everyone was like, aw, no fair! He gets the big vehicle while we get the tiny vehicles? And I could just, folks, imagine if the original voice actor who did Toad would voice Toad right now and tell Mario, played by Chris Pratt, Toad's voice would be like,
Ha! Now you can see what my vehicle is compared to yours, Mario. So suck my Dragon Ball Z.
or no, to keep it clean for YouTube, and not to get me demonetized or anything, but Toad would actually say,
Suck on some mushrooms and eat them good, Mario.
because, you know, in every Mario game, it's mushrooms, fire flower, star power ability, and many other items that these Mario games have, ladies and gentlemen. So that's why I'm saying that in Toad, if I was playing Toad's voice, but no, they had to keep it. They chose instead Keegan Michael Keith for Toad. But anywho, so the race begins. They chose, and the one map out of every map from Mario Kart games they had to choose was Rainbow Road, which, for me, as an Inkling or Octoling, I know what it's like when I'm facing over so many courses of Rainbow Road. For example, the classic Rainbow Road, it's not so bad. But and I quote, every Mario Kart franchise gets a little trickier, because when you have that drift ability, just by pressing the left and right to bumper or trigger, you have to like drift to the left to go left, drift to the right to go right, and it's hard because there's no bumpers on each side of the Rainbow Road. So what you have to do, you have to stay on one course, and that is a perfect straight line. Now, of course, there's a scene that I saw in the Super Mario Bros. Movie where they had to do that whole Sonic the Hedgehog loop-de-loop ring, and everyone's probably thinking and wondering, well, that's just great. How are we gonna go over this loop-de-loop? And once again, folks, I remember playing Mario Kart 8 because I still have the game, and so does my family. But when we all played Rainbow Road on one map or any other course, other cups, they give you that ability to have that anti-gravity thing underneath your vehicle, just so that you can go over those loop-de-loops and whatnot. So, yeah. So, I guess it's okay. I mean, I'm not fond of this Rainbow Road that gives you anti-gravity, but if I was the Tier 2 Scout, voiced, by the way, folks, by this Twitch streamer and YouTuber by the name Chili of Destiny or whatever, he would say, folks, gravity? Who gives a crap about gravity? But anyway, so later on, while Luigi is captured in prison with along with other people that's been imprisoned and captured in the dungeon, Bowser's been informed that Mario, Peach, Toad, and even these kingdom full of monkeys are on Bowser's tail. And Bowser had an idea, folks. A devilish idea. A most terrible, awful, and yet dreadful, evil idea on how to backfire this. And that was also having him be, or his henchmen's, get involved in the race. So, yeah, man. After that whole sequence and scene, yeah, uh, which I know my, I know my yellow Koopaling self is not gonna like what I'm about to say, but I think I'll let it pass. Um, Mario, Luigi, no, Mario, Peach, and the whole kingdom full of monkeys gets killed by Bowser's henchmen. Well, no, okay, they don't get killed, but they just get annihilated by. Well, okay, no, that's the same with destroyed. Well, I don't know how else to put it, but they, because in Mario Kart games we just say we lost. So I guess that's the correct word I'm looking for, is that all the kingdom of monkeys lost to Bowser's henchmen, except for Mario, Peach, Toad, and Donkey Kong, who still survived the race course. And that was when one of the blue Koopalings was like, "Oh no, you don't. You do not mess with the blue Koopa, who is the captain of every Koopa brother and sisters." So he launches his own self from his cart, targets Mario and Donkey Kong just to separate Peach and Toad, and we come to a scene where there's now this wedding between Peach and Bowser, saying to each other, no, saying to Kamek, as Kamek recites the wedding or marriage proposal or whatever. "Do you, boss, take this average yet beautiful damsel in distress to be your wedded wife?" And Bowser's like, "Why, of course I do. Now, hurry this up. We ain't got all day." But Princess Peach refuses to take Bowser's hand, and instead she turns into some sort of ice princess, which I say it's kind of a dumb and stupid move, because let's face it, folks, ice and fire do not mix well. Because as soon as Mario and Donkey Kong arrive to Mushroom Kingdom together, after a heap of battle against the Koopas and everything, not to mention rescued Luigi, Bowser was still frustrated after seeing Mario and Donkey Kong survive. So Bowser's had no choice but to say, in his words, folks, and not mine, by the way, he's all like, "Boys, send in the bomber pill bullets." And that's exactly what Bowser did, as the gigantic, big, and big, giant, and humongous bullet bill just comes out of the Mushroom Kingdom, starts to fire at, or was about to head to destroy Mushroom Kingdom, but Mario had an idea. But it was, folks, also a stupid, but as well as a not too bad of an idea. And that was letting the bullet bill chased after Mario that took Mario and Luigi through a mysterious warp pipe, and it sent the whole Mushroom Kingdom and the kingdom full of monkeys and everything else towards Mario and Luigi's hometown, which is Brooklyn, New York City. So, yeah. So, once that happened, it was time for the one last battle station to the death between Bowser, Mario, and Luigi. Oh, and Princess Peach and Toad and Donkey Kong, of course. But what surprised Bowser was that, yeah, as I was saying, what surprised Bowser is that both Mario and Luigi had that star invincibility power, and not to get copyrighted, but because, not gonna lie, the Star Power theme song was badass, but in a good way kind of badass, because normally the original Star Power theme would go and all that, but it didn't go that way. It went something more like and so on and so forth. But you folks get what I'm saying. So after Mario and Luigi used that star power, invincibility of course, to vanquish and defeat Bowser, we get a post-credits scene where, and I'm gonna say this folks now because we might get a second Super Mario Bros. Movie in April next year, as I've heard this from Chris Pratt himself, but as well as some guy that announced this on YouTube, and also from the YouTubers Slurp themselves too. But everybody, all those three people, including Slurp, the company or group Slurp themselves, they said that we could get Super Mario Bros. 2 movie in April 2026 because they're working on, my guess is they're working on maybe adding Yoshi to the movie. Now that we've seen in the post-credits scene that it could be a Yoshi egg, it could be a Wario or Waluigi in the post-credit ending scene, or something else. But from what I've seen in the trailer from Slurp themselves, they think that maybe we could get, and hope everybody's ready. No, I wish, pray, dream, and even better that everybody's ready for this announcement. But, and not to spoil too much again, but if people out here don't like spoils, then you guys can just mute my video. But from what we've heard from Slurp and the pretty much everyone that worked on Super Mario Bros. The movie from 2 years back, we might get Super Mario Bros. Movie 2 with Yoshi, Bowser Jr., and every Koopaling brother and sisters of mine. Like, when I say mine, I mean my Koopaling brothers and sisters, because my Twitch account is, of course, a yellow Koopaling, so we could be having that. We could also have, is coming to in April 2026. Yeah, man. All I can say is I can't wait for this movie to come out next year. And if we do happen to if we do happen to get it next year, then you can bet that I'm gonna put on my Koopa costume and so on and so forth. While it might be Michelangelo's costume from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I might ask my family to dye my costume yellow because, let's be honest and real, I've been thinking of making a costume for myself, since costumes around here at this time of year is so expensive as hell. Like, just think it over. 1,000 to like 5K would be a bit too much for me to spend, since I'm living in a one studio apartment, and I'm not gonna tell anyone on YouTube where I live. But what I can say is that yeah, costumes are so expensive that I can't even afford because I got other matters to do. But that's my game plan. So, to wrap this video up, I think what have we learned from this movie and what we're gonna be expecting for the next Super Mario Bros. Movie. Like I said, I just wish, pray, dream, and even bet that next year, when we get Super Mario Bros. 2 movie coming out, we'll be getting not just Bowser Jr. and Brandon the Yellow Koopa's brothers and sisters in the movie, but I also, folks, wish, pray, dream, and even bet that we could also maybe get King Boo and his kingdom full of ghosts and goblins and ghouls, just to, spice things up and scare Luigi, because again, the Super Mario Bros. Movie was okay. I wouldn't say it's great or it's good, but it's okay. It just could be better if they added like King Boo and many other ghosts or ghouls or goblins in the movie, but Nintendo didn't. So once again, that's all I can say about this discussion, reaction, and review. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time I must act like Raymond Rabbids and bounce to the ounce, not to mention go and so on and so forth. But I wish, pray, dream, and even bet that everyone had a great Super Mario Engineer Gaming Boy Monday. And once again, until I don't know, man, until, like I said, we get new videos from SMG4, Alex Spider, or even those that I subscribe, like, for example, Yo Yoshi and Yo Yoshi's other account, which is and happens to be, folks, Tales of Little Fox, makes up new videos. I am yours truly, Brandon. I am yours truly, folks, Brandon Murphy. And once again, I almost said my Twitch name, but speaking of my Twitch name, you all folks may know me from my Twitch channels, which is, and again, Brandon the Yellow Koopa and Brandon the Mandalore 36 on my Twitch channels. Remember them all, folks, so you have to add some points, some which, some way, somewhat, and of course some win, saying to you all a goodbye, of Wiedersehen, Francois, sayonara, and as Puya say from their hits singular album Fundamental, they say and go, and that is, nope, there we go, keep it simple. Alright, and you folks know how I end my videos, so let's go.
Oh, mamma mia!
There you go. Alright. Bye, everybody.